evening. You're watching The Money Show right here on ET Now. And as promised, here's our very special segment lined up for you. We have with us Feroze, Azeez, Deputy CEO of Anand Rathi Private Wealth Management. And I have three very young students right here with me. Feroze maybe makes us feel a little old. But yes, I have with me on my left, student of HR College, Murtaza Pardiwala. Then I also have with me Priyanshu Agnihotri and Heer Jetwa. So thanks to all of you for joining us. And Feroze, you know, we often have conversations about how you have to start investing young. So I thought that instead of asking them to watch ET Now, might as well bring them to ET Now and drill that point into their heads itself. So let's start off first with the topic at hand, and that is investing young. Okay. Yes, you don't have money. You just are probably relying on, you know, salary and maybe odd jobs here and there done for your neighbor or for a relative, or for that matter, very generous grandmothers and grandfathers as well in many cases. So, Feroze, tell our students out here, how is it that they can go about investing in mutual funds, and if it is the right mode of investment for them?
Of course, starting young, like you rightly said, Mubina, is very, very critical. So it's very expensive to delay this decision. For example, if you invest 1,000 rupees for 30 years, it compounds itself at a nominal rate of 13–14% to 54 lakhs. Now, on the other hand, if you said, let me relax for 5 years, I've just started working, let me not be such a hurry, and you delay that decision by 5 years, the same 54 lakhs transforms itself at the same interest rate to 27 lakhs. So the cost of the 5-year delay is 50% of the corpus you could have accumulated for your goal. So it's important to start early. Second, mutual funds. Is it a good platform for you? See, do you do this for a living? No, you have to finish your study. You have so much to do, right? So you are always, when you have something which you don't have time for, the best thing is to outsource it. So mutual funds become a platform for you to outsource this to somebody else who does it for a living. So mutual fund is the best platform for somebody who's not doing this for a living, managing their own money. And I'm sure you're not doing that, is why you are going to colleges day in and out. So make sure that you use a platform where there's a professional doing this job more methodically rather than arbitrarily in a transactional fashion.
Okay, all right. And you know, Feroze, of course, they have a ton of questions as well, you know, that they want to ask you. It's a golden opportunity, guys, so shoot away. Murtaza, let's start off with you. Just roughly tell us a bit about yourself and what's the question you have for Feroze.
Yeah, hi, so I'm Murtaza Pardiwala. I'm from KC College and I'm an aspiring CA.
Okay. Aspiring CA, so I think he already has, he's a pro at money matters any which ways. What's your question for Feroze?
Yeah, my first question was, at this age, what is preferable more? Is it trading or is it investing?
See, it's like, I'm sure you've come to college, you would have graduated from your O-levels or second PUC, and then before which you would have finished your 10th. So everything has its own time and a learning curve. So you can't ever start with trading. Trading is a sophisticated investing mechanism. So you always start investing and then graduate to trading. And even if you get to trading, it's not going to be with all your money, right? Because trading brings more risk. So to answer your pointed question, Murtaza, you start out investing, use mutual funds, then you get into buying stocks yourself and then graduate into trading. That will be the chronological order of a life cycle of an investor.
Well, just like when you do CA, you start off first with MCQs and then you graduate to giving full-fledged papers, right? Just consider it that way. Okay, next we have Priyanshu. Hi Priyanshu, tell us a bit about yourself and what's your question for Feroze?
Good evening, this is Priyanshu Agnihotri, an SYGC student of Hinduja College of Commerce, and I'm willing to pursue CA in the coming years. So my first question is, so how much should I invest in order to get an average rate of 10% in a diversified equity fund?
Very good. See, one is, how much should I invest will largely depend on not the return you expect, on the goal you wish to meet. Now, for example, people can save for different things, right? At least at a young age, I'm sure you're not thinking of retirement. You think of buying a bike for yourself, buy a phone for yourself. So the rate of return you wish to achieve will depend on how much time you have. So point one, how much money will you need? When will you need it? And after you've decided this, then you come to an asset allocation of how do you use equity, debt, and different vehicles to achieve the same goal. So let's say, hypothetically, you wish to save money, 1 lakh rupee, after 5 years, whatever you wish to do with it. then you will have to work backwards and say what is the monthly investment you will need. So if you need to save 1 lakh, approximately you will need a 2,500 rupees per month investment. Now that you have arrived at the amount, then you need to arrive at which mutual fund to buy. So diversified equity fund, as the name suggests, is a platform which invests money in different kinds of companies. And in that, if I have to also go to the extent of recommending schemes for you, let me recommend 2 schemes for you. A Reliance Large Cap Fund and a Mirai Asset Large Cap Fund would be a good start point for you to save. And if you want to save 1 lakh after 5 years, then start with 2,500 rupees SIP.
So what do you want to save for, Priyanshu?
Yeah, so I was asking this only. So you have suggested me 2 funds. So I was asking that should I prefer HDFC?
Okay. So see, what happens is there are different mutual fund companies. There are 42 different mutual fund companies in India who offer the service of professional management to you. HDFC being the first or the second largest at different points in time. So of course it's a very good fund house. Now in HDFC there are several schemes. Which one to choose is the most important, because every scheme would have a different performance. If you want to choose HDFC, then their best fund according to me would be HDFC Mid Cap Opportunities.
Okay. So I hope you've taken at least a mental note of all of those funds that Feroze has sent in. And of course, you can always tune into the Money Show for ready advice. Okay, here, up to you now. Tell us, what is your question for Feroze?
Good evening. My name is Jetwa and studying commerce in HR College of